Okay, I really hate when tech channels review headphones. It's maybe my least favorite thing. If the channel is not dedicated to headphone reviews, just don't listen to them. So this is the Harman curve target response, okay? What tech reviewers show how the headphone they're reviewing compares to that, and then depending on how far the deviation is from that, they say it's bad. Or they say it's good if it's like very close to it. It doesn't fucking matter. It's not relevant. I don't know why you would show any kind of graph, because it's not helpful. It's not relevant in any way. And there's a few reasons for that. I mean, one, there's not even one of these graphs. There's three, because the guy that did the study, he actually found that there was three different groups of people. You know, this is the general one, but then there was also a group that preferred more treble and one that preferred more bass. But either way, it doesn't matter, because it's the average, it's the amalgamation of a wide sample of people. It's not relevant to you, right? You're not an amalgamation of people. You can just go try some headphones and say, wow, I really like this. Because if you are listening to like EDM, you're not gonna like the same kind of headphones that someone that listens to country likes, right? They're gonna sound different. There's different instruments at different frequencies involved. Okay, Editor Camden here. I thought I could have been clearer. Let me show you visually. This is one of my favorite songs, like a hip-hop song versus like a country song. Look at the different frequencies involved here, right? Do you see how silly it would be? Now, don't go pick your headphone by matching up the EQ to the that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, how silly is it to try to pick headphones off a perfect standard graph? But I'm also going to explain why none of that even matters anyways, but that'll just be in a second. This is not an objective measure of a good headphone. There is no objective measure of a good headphone. It's art, right? So it's what you like. The same way there's no objective measure of the right film grade or the right color grade in film. Depends on what you're doing. Depends on what you like. This is like you're going to buy a car, and the only thing, you can't look at the car in any way. You can't do anything. You go up to the salesman and you're like, I want to buy a car. And he's like, well, the one I'm telling you about has like, you know, this much horsepower. It's got 200 horsepower. And that's the only metric you get to base your decision on. You would never buy a car with that limited information. Next I want to show you, so like these are Sony XM5s, okay? Tech reviewers generally say they really like them. So these get a good review and like, you know, makes sense. It's a pretty fucking, it's pretty close. It's pretty close. But I have these headphones. I have them right here. I got proof. And I really do like them. But they're not my favorite headphone that I own. That would be these ones. And I know if there's audiophiles in the comments, they're already losing their minds. I really do have these. Like, I'm not bullshitting. But a lot of people really don't like them. Okay? And I'll show you. This is their frequency response graph. This is, you know, the same thing here. And look, like, pretty big deviations here. I like these. They're not open backs, but they get the kind of same feel without bleeding so much noise, just because the ear cups are so big. You get a really, you know, I like the soundstage. So I just really hate it when tech reviewers are recommending a headphone and they're using this as like their scientific, objective proof of why it's good or bad. This doesn't prove anything. You would assume that if I listen to a song with like really heavy bass drum, it's gonna really like thump, 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 like, right? Look at all this fucking low end, right? No. It's loud, yeah, but it's called, I think it's called like the transient time. It doesn't matter. So it's not a crisp thump like you would be hoping for if you looked at this and you said, oh wow, it's good for bass. It's not really that good for bass. I like it, again, just mostly because of the soundstage, but you see my point. Even if you were looking for a bass-heavy headphone, you know, something you really like bass, you wouldn't really want these. They sound muddy. It's not like a nice crisp bass. This isn't even going into like, there's so much more shit, dude. Please, please, just don't. I don't want to name the channel, but if the channel is not pretty dedicated to making headphone reviews, I would say just ignore it. The only relevant thing would be they tell you, I listen to this kind of music, and you're like, oh, I listen to that kind of music. And they're like, I appreciate this in music. And you're like, oh, I appreciate that in music. And then they go, I like these headphones. Then you might say, all right, we seem to value the same things in music and in our headphones, and he likes them, so I'll probably like them. They can't show you a graph or anything. It's not going to show you anything. You can't, it would be like me trying to describe a painting to you by telling you what percentages of colors were used. It doesn't fucking tell you anything.